Laura here. Nice of you to join me. And welcome to my channel. It's lovely having you here with me today. Wherever you are in the world, I hope you're having a really good day. And that you maybe have a cup of coffee or something a little bit stronger. And you can sit down and relax for an hour and just watch what I'm going to be crafting. We're going to be working on page number 1. So page number 1. Now page number 1, if I bring in the album that I've already made, we can have a look. So page 1 is this page here. So it's got a fixed pocket and it did have a file folder that I had inside, but now I'm going to have a bit of a change on this one. I'm actually, in case you haven't got this chip, because I've got this chipboard Polaroid pocket or embellishment, should I say, that I was able to use. So I've actually got that again in the baby boy one, but I've actually made one up as well, so that if you haven't got that chipboard piece or something similar, you can then use that as you can put it in if you want to. So that's the page we're going to make. So that's page number 1. So let's move this out of the way. Now what I've done is I've actually gone ahead and cut my pieces out beforehand. So first of all, you will need to bring in your paper, your pages. Now remember, we made our pages in part number 2, I believe. So just to recap on the sizes, if you want to, so the pages you'll need 2 pieces of cardstock to make 1 page. So you will need your cardstock at a 9 1/4 by 5 7/8. Then you'll also need another piece of cardstock, and that's going to measure 10 1/4 by 5 7/8. Okay, so you will need to have your 10 1/4 measurement down the side of your trimmer, so where you measure, and then along the top you'll need the shortest one, and then you're going to score that at a 1/2 inch. You're going to rotate it round and score the opposite end again at 1/2 inch, and then that is going to create your glue tabs to put on the back of to put them together. For your pattern paper that's going to go on the top of this, you will need to cut it at 9 1/8 by 5 3/4. Okay, and that's going to fit on the top like so. The next piece that we're going to do will be the belly band. So you need to cut your cardstock at 10 3/8 by 2 1/2. Okay, and that's your belly band. Along the shortest edge, so with your longest edge measurement down the side of your trimmer, you're going to score the shortest edge at 1/2 inch. Again, turn it round and score a 1/2 inch again. Okay, so that's going to be the belly band. Now for the pattern paper that goes that covers that, you'll need to cut it at 9 1/8 by 2 3/8. Okay, so that's those out of the way. Then for the pocket, so let me move them, put them there, put them there. So for the little pocket that we've got here, your measurements are going to be 8 1/2 by 5 1/2. You're going to score it at, with the longest measurement, so the 8 1/2 inch measurement down the side of your trimmer here. You're going to score it at 4 inches. Then you can come down and then score it, turn it round and then score at 1/2 inch on the opposite side. Okay, so it's going to create like a seal. So let me just say that again. So you're going to score it at 4. Okay, so it's going to be scored at 4. turn it round and then score it at a half. Okay, so on that longest part, so you'll have a part here that's 4, and then you'll have one that's 4.5. Now again, if it's hard to get it closed like that, just trim off 1/8 of an inch off the shortest measurement here. So the 4-inch measurement, just trim off 1/8 of an inch, and then that's going to allow you to close that up so that it's lying flat. So I didn't cut one for that, so I thought we'd cut that on camera. So we're going to cut the pattern paper for that as we do them. So for then the tag that goes in our pocket, so the tag that goes in our pocket, the cardstock measurement is 5 1/4 by 3 3/4, and then the pattern paper is 5 1/8 by 3 5/8. Then if you want to do the Polaroid little pocket, you will need to cut your measurements at 4 3/4 by 4 1/4. Then you're going to need to put a border, you're going to have to score a border on 3 sides. So you want to score your borders on 2 of the long sides and 1 of the short side, okay, like so. And then we will go through the pattern paper and everything for that as we come and we put it all together. Right, so let's start by putting our pieces together. Now, I did also forget to mention that we will need a bit of acetate. Now, you will have some offcuts of acetate that are left from when we did the front cover, the inside front cover, so you can use that. This is perfect to use all those sort of scrap bits up. So, putting it together now, I'm going to put my pattern paper onto my page first, and then I'm going to add my belly band afterwards. Now, I have a bit of a thing when I put my pages into my albums. I always like to have, if I've joined 2 pieces of cardstock together and you end up with the glue tabs on either side, I always like to put them on the reverse page, so I've got the nice flat page on the front. That's my choice. You might do it a different way, it's up to you, but that's just how I like to do it. So let me find my pen, because I just need to ink my edges. Now, I'm using a Memento felt pen, and it's in grey. I think it's grey flannel it's called. I'm not sure if you can still get these. I've had this marker for quite a few years and it's still going strong. I like to use grey. One, it's not as harsh as black on white, on your white card, on your white paper anyway, so it just hides those sort of cut edges. Also, the other thing is when you're inking your edges, or you're marking them using a pen, then you want to have your front side, the side that you're going to have facing up, you want that facing away from you, and the back side obviously facing you, and then just mark it that way. So if your pen slips, and it will do, you will end up on the back with the pen marks. You won't end up on the front and then have to cut another piece of paper because that's happened. So I'm going to go ahead and stick this down because my belly band glue tabs are going to go over the actual page, and they're going to attach to the page on the back, and then I'm going to cover that then with the pattern paper so you won't see it. So glue, right, I don't know where my Cosmic Shimmer glue has gone, so I've just picked up, I've got some coral glue, I think that's how it's pronounced. This is just as good as well, if it will come out. I seem to have so much trouble with glues drying up, and not so much drying up, they tend to just get gunked up, and then they dry in the nozzle, and then I'll have to keep unclogging them. Right, so I've just used the cowl, and I say that is just as good a glue. Okay, get your spacings right. Okay, now I don't think I've cut enough off this end. I think this one here should have been, I didn't cut this at 8 and sorry, let me just check. I think this should have been at 9. Yes, let's just cut that at 9. There we go. Let's just ink that edge again. Oh, that's a bit better. Yes, I hadn't there we go. I hadn't cut enough off it. There we are. That's a lot better. There we go. Burnish that down like so. Okay, bring in then your belly band, and on the back side of your belly band you're going to put your double-sided tape, and you're going to put them on the valley fold side of that glue tab. Okay, you can use a little bit of glue as well if you want to. Burnish that glue down like so. Pick that off, and then you need to work out where it's going to go. Now you can have it at the side, sort of here. I'll put it this way, then you can see. So you could have it there if you wanted, and then have your pocket so that it is just a little bit over, but I'm going to have mine in the center. So I'm going to work from the top. I'm just going to push that over, get it as central as I can, stick that down, pull that down, and then bring that round and pull that down again, and then that's then my belly band done. So again, we can now put then the pattern paper on. And ink those edges. So we can go ahead and stick this on. Now I'm using the crepe paper little U pattern 12 by 12 papers. Now I've had a look online because I can't find anywhere in the UK that's actually got this on online. So if you find it, then please let me know, because I would like to buy some more. I mean, I've had this for a couple of years, this paper. Yeah, so if you find it, let me know. So we can then come onto our pockets. Now with the pocket, I'm going to have it come down about here. Okay, I'm going to put my tape along this glue tab edged here, and that has run out. I'm getting through quite a bit of my tape recently, which is good. I'll just use that end bit there. Luckily I've got another one. I push that down. Okay. And then I'm going to put some along this bottom edge as well. Okay, just along that bottom edge, just one sort of line. I'm going to give it a little ear. Push that in. And take these off. 1, 2. Now I'm going to put it in this way. No, I can't put it in that way. Oh, tomorrow. So push that down, and then we can just push it down so that we've got, it's very flat, but you've got it so that it's central to that belly band. Okay, push it down. You can then take off that ear, hopefully. Oh. And then you can center it and then stick it down. Okay, and then that is the pocket. Now when we come to put our tag in, our tag is just going to sit nicely in there like so, with a little tiny bit sticking out. So we need to cover this now, so you'll need to cut some pattern paper at, let me just double check, at 3 7/8 by 5 3/8. Okay, I've cut my piece of paper and just ink those edges again, like so. That's not a word. Grab your glue and just put your glue on and then stick it into place like so. So bring in your tag, because that's going to go in the top here like so. Now you can cut this a little bit bigger if you want to, if you wanted to have it stuck out a bit more. That's really up to you. I'm just going to use my corner rounders just to round the edges, and I'm using the small one on the bottom, and then I'm going to use the medium sized one on the top like so, like so. And then again with the pattern paper, again I'm going to ink the edges, medium, medium. Like so. And then we can stick this bit on. And you can also then add your, if you've got some white cardstock, you can put some white cardstock on the back of your tags. But I'm just going to add that in there for now, and then leave that sticking out. Okay, I'm bringing in now the little Polaroid pocket that we're going to make. Now, as I said, I have a chipboard piece that I used, but in case you're not using chipboard or you haven't got something like that, this is the alternative that you can use. You can do instead of that. So we've cut it at our measurements, and then we've scored our 3 edges, so 2 long edges and 1 short edge, so that we've got our basic pocket really. So we just need to do a few things to get it ready. So we need to cut off the corners on the top of the glue tabs, and the corners off the bottom. So where those 2 score lines meet, you need to cut that off there, so you're left with something like this. We now need to get it ready to do our window, to get our window in. So you can use your trimmer or you can use a pencil, and as I've got my new pencils, I'm going to use my pencils. So for the top measurement, we need to measure down 7/8 of an inch, because that then is going to, because we're going to have like a finger notch hold in that, we need then to allow for that. So we're going to cut that at 7/8, okay, downwards, and then the other 3 sides you're going to do it at 3/8 of an inch. Okay, so I'm just going to mark down there 3/8 of an inch, come along and do 3/8 of an inch. So it's off the scored edge, so don't count the glue tab, just it's just the front pocket, the front bit, so not the glue tabs. And then the last side, which is then a 3 3/8 again, and that goes upwards. So bringing in your trimmer, I'm going to just line up my scored edges, sorry, not scored edges, my pencil marks in between the gully of my trimmer, and then I'm going to just score down and score, and sorry, not score, I'm going to cut up and cut down, move it around and do the same thing. Go across, bring this one in, so just line that pencil line in with that, down to there, and then the last one, just line that up, bring that over and just bring it across like so. I just need to, this one hasn't gone, that little bit needs to just go over there. There we go, I think that's it, I think I've got it. Just a few little bit nicks there that it just hadn't caught. So then that is your little Polaroid type pocket, okay. So bringing in your envelope punch board, we need to then do our finger notch. Now the finger notch is, I think this is 3 1/4, so it'll be 1 1/2. So 1 5/8 will be the centre of that piece of paper, so that card. So you've got your little notch in there like so. But I like to have my edges decorated. So the cutting our pattern paper, we need to cut it at 3/4 by 3 1/8. So we'll write that on here. So that's 3/4 by 3 1/8. Yes, by 3 1/8. So we'll do this one first and then we'll work the rest off of that as we go. So I'm going to use this one, and hopefully, will that give me enough? So yes, so 3 1/8. No, I need to go, this needs to be 3/4 by, I'm going to use that side, 3 1/8. So that's then my top, like so. So because that's then 3 1/8, we need to make this 1 1/2 and a touch, because it's 1/8, so it's just a little bit there. Okay, let's punch that down. Hope that's in the right place. Okay, there we go. That's perfect. So that's that. So we can then ink the edges again on this, and then we can get this one stuck on. Then we can do the bottom one, and the bottom one is the same. It would be 3 1/8, but then it would be by 1/4. So 3 1/8 by 1/4. By 3 1/8. And then that can go along the bottom there, like so. And do the edges again. You could even distress these edges if you wanted to. It's really up to you. You don't even need to make a baby book. You can do it in whatever pattern paper you'd like, really. You could have a wedding one, would look amazing. It would look really nice if you had somebody that was getting married, and this, you know, this would be an amazing gift. So that's that one. So then we can do the bottom, sorry, the 2 side ones. So let's go with 3 inches by 1/4. What does everybody do when they crafting? Does anybody listen to music, or do they watch or do they put a crafting telly on, or what do you do? Let me know again in the comments below what you actually do when you craft. Do you listen to music? Do you listen to, I have audio books on sometimes, and I listen to those as I'm crafting. Sometimes I have the crafting channels on and listen to some of my friends who demonstrators on there. I kind of listen to them, or I'll put YouTube on. I listen to a few people doing YouTube as well. Yeah, or music. Sometimes I put music on as well. And sometimes I just sit and, not sit, but I just kind of, I just craft quietly, but not very often. It's if I'm getting into the groove, I tend to forget where I am and what I'm doing. So I tend to just, I'm in that zone then. So for then our pocket, now you don't, if you don't want to put the acetate in, you don't have to, but because I've got it sort of lurking around, I might as well use it. So I'm going to cut this at 4 1/2, because it might be too much, but let's try it. Yeah, 4 1/2 is too much, so I'll cut this down to 4 1/4. I've still got mad too much now. So let's go down to 3 3/4. That should be plenty. Yes, 3 3/4 is just right. So that's the acetate pocket. Now if you've got any isopropyl alcohol, you could just wipe off the acetate before you stick it on, then that way you've got no sort of marks on there or anything. I have got some, but I haven't got, I used to have a spray one, but my daughter's commandeered it for resin, so I'm down to just the bottle, and then I've got one of my little painting rags here, so I can use that. So all you do is you just rub it over, and then it gets rid of all the finger marks and sort of fluff that you may have on one side actually. So you can, I'm going to do it so it'll be that side. So let me put that over there. Bring in your Polaroid pocket. Now I'm going to put my double-sided tape just next to, again, exactly what we did with the window flap, exactly the same principle as that, like so, and then put that on. So burnish them down, not too much as you rip your actual pocket. You don't want to do that. Take off the double-sided tape. Be careful if you've got little fluffy bits and offcuts of paper lying around, because it will get stuck onto your double-sided tape and we don't want that. So take that one off, and that one hopefully. Okay, right, bring in your, I'm just going to rub that off again. And then that one is going to be the one that I stick onto the front. So like that. Okay, so bring in your pocket, and then this is going to fit on the top like so. So put your double-sided tape onto the mounting fold side of your glue tabs. Okay, take them off. Okay, take the double-sided tape off. Like so. Now I'm going to stick the bottom one on first and then bring these ones in around in a moment. I'm just going to get where I want it. So you can have it right down here if you want, or in the centre. I'm going to have it more central. Like so. And you've got it when you're happy. Just burnish that down. And then you can bring those ones in, so bring then the side glue tabs in, and then you can just push that down like so. Okay. For your Polaroid tag, you need to cut these measurements at 4.5 by 3 1/8. That's for your cardstock. And then your pattern paper, you need to cut this at 4 3/8 by 3 inches. Okay, I've just cut our Polaroid tag again because I hadn't cut it big enough, but the measurements that you have will be correct. So I'm just going round the edges with the marker again, just to hide those white edges. But what I have forgot to do is our corners. So I'm going to use the corner one that is just goes straight across for the top, and then our rounder, which is at the bottom, I'm going to use just the small one to do those. So 1, 2, and then did I say the medium size? Medium size one for the top. Get your tag and you'll put your glue on. Oh, I forgot the bottoms. There we go. Okay, then add your tag on, or your pattern paper onto your tag. So just using those 2 punches gives you that lovely tag look. So then that can go in there. Now I'm just going to pull that up a bit so I can get that in. So then that's your tag, your Polaroid pocket. But again, if you wanted to, you could use what I did with the chipboard. I just wanted to show you an alternative way. So that is the basic pocket done. So the next thing we've got to do, which is our file, envelope file that goes in the back. So for the envelope, the pull-out envelope, you will need these measurements. Now you are going to use a cardstock first, so these measurements are for cardstock, and they are going to measure 11.5 by 8 1/4, and then another one at 3 inches by 8 1/4. So with taking the biggest piece, the 11.5 piece of cardstock, you're going to score this at 5 3/4. Score, don't cut if you've got one of these boards, like so. Fold that over, and then the smaller one, you're going to score that at 1/2 inch along one long side. Fold that over. So now you have a choice. You can either have your file open, so you can put your we'll attach the top or the closure, or you can close the sides up and have it as an actual pocket, or an actual proper file, should I say. So really the choice is yours. So I'm going to actually take off 3/4 of an inch, not a whole inch. So then it just gives you a little bit of a handy hold there. So bring in your top, and we're going to put the double-sided tape along this top edge on the valley fold side, like so. Really burnish that down. Take the double-sided off, and remember to stick this on to the tallest part if you've cut some of yours off. So I'm going to stick it this way, because I can then push that the edge into that scored edge underneath, and then just push that down. There we go, and then that will hopefully seal it, and it does. So getting my Teflon tool, just give that a good burnish down to really give those score lines extra crease. You want them as creased up as maybe your dad's creases in his jeans. So once you've done that, again, it's now up to you. You can have the sides closed, or you can have them open. I'm going to leave mine open actually. If you wanted to close them, just use a bit of your construction tape and seal those edges up. So if I show you on the one that I did that was wrong, you can see what I mean. So getting your construction tape, just take some off, and if you want to you can make your lines straight, but it doesn't matter because you're not really going to see it. So just burnish that down so it's half on, half off. Turn it over and flip it over the other side, and then that creates a little pocket then. So you've not got extra bulk because you haven't got any glue tabs on the side, and it just makes it flatter as well. So you could do that with the other side, then you've got yourself a pocket. So there's two alternatives for you if you want to. I'm going to leave mine open. I think I might just put a little closure on there of some sort. No, I think I'm going to just put a little magnet on there would do for me. So I'm going to round these edges. So I'm going to use the large side, or the large punch, and I'm going to do these ones as well, like so. Because what I really want to do is I want to have, I want to be able to open this and have a photograph, and some journaling on the side there, and then maybe a photograph on the back, and then say on the front here. That was my thinking anyway. So this then is going to fit into our belly band like so, and it's just going to come the whole width of your page, but it just, you know, just gives you extra space in there to put some extra bits and pieces in. So for our double R pattern paper for these, we're going to need 2 3/8 by, I think this was 8 1/8, so this would be by 8 1/8. So this is 8 1/8 by 4 7/8. So you'll need times 2 of those, because you'll need that side and that side. And the same here, 2 3/8 by 8 1/8. So this would be 8 1/8 by 5 5/8. And that would be by 2 as well. So 8 1/8 by 5 5/8, and that is 8 1/8 by 4 7/8. Okay, so you pick your pattern paper for those. That's all my pieces cut. So the front one is going to go on here. Don't forget to round your corners if you have rounded your corners. 2, and that's going to go on there like so. I'm going to ink the edges like so. Okay, turn them round so get it the right way. Push them down like so. And then the middle one. So you can have either, I can have it that side or that side. I think that side will look nice. And maybe, and then back, I'm going to keep it at that there because I quite like that effect. So that's going to go there. So round these edges. So let me just double check that again. Yep, those ones. 1, 2. Ink this. Now you can put extra photographs in here if you want to. You could also add some photographs in here if you want to. With some photo corners, that would look really good as well. Or you could just put a little bit of memorabilia in there. Maybe you've got a nice, like a birth card that you want to keep, and put that in there. I have all my daughter's first, her baby cards, all her congratulation cards, and I've also got her first birthday cards as well, that I've kind of kept in a folder. So this would be quite a nice way to keep those as well. You could put them in the front section of your bureau. So I'm going to put that, or shall I stick with the dots? No, I'll go with that one. So get that there. And then it would be so nice if we were allowed to play some music while we were recording. It would be lovely, but we can't, obviously, for copyright and things. We can't can't put any music on, which is a bit of a shame really, because it would be nice to listen to just a few tunes as we're crafting away. So push them down. And I've got this last one here that can either go, I think I'm going to use that there like so. No, then it kind of marries that then. So round the corners of this, of just two of the corners, that's all you need to round. And ink the edges like so. Yeah. And glue. Make sure you stick it on the right way, like that. Just pushing that down a little bit. So that and that, and then you've got the end piece, the end one here, which can go on again. I was going to say I could use that side, but I'm going to use that. Be a bit consistent, I suppose. Okay. Put that on. Good thing about this cool glue, it is quite, it does give you a lot of wriggle time. There we are. Now I haven't put any magnets on this. You could do, I could have done, but I forgot. So it's a bit late now for me to do that, but, which is a bit of a shame. But I don't think it matter because it's going to go in there anyway, and it's going to keep that shut. So like so. So it's not going to matter, and if I put another magnet in or something like that, it's going to bulk it out a bit more. So no, I'm going to leave that free. But I've got this piece here, but I don't know what I've done with the extra bit that I cut off. I know I cut two. Okay, well, we can just use a bit of offcut. No, because I like that. Right, I'm going to leave that because I'm going to I'll add in some white cardstock on there. And then that can, as I said, could be my journaling spot. Okay, this is 200 GSM as well. Okay, so that is going to be 2 3/8 by 8 1/8. So 2 3/8 by 8 1/8. Down there, round the corner. Two, and then this can be a bit of a journaling spot. So that's going to be a journaling spot. And then what you could do is add some little photo mats in here. So we can do them at, so this can be maybe you can have a 6x4 or a 7, can't have a 7x8. You can have a 5x7. So 5 1/4 by 7 1/4, and then you could just write on there, or if you had some stamps. I don't know if the Mama Makes ones go up to 7. Let's have a look. What have we got? 7. We've got one. 5x7. Yeah, we have. So we can stamp that. 5x7, here we come. So they can go in there. So these are the lovely stamps by the lovely Mama Makes. Fantastic. I love them. I use them in all my albums. They really do help, especially for if you're giving your albums away to people that maybe aren't crafters. And you give them this book and they think, oh, well, where do I put my photos? Or what size do I need to use what photo size do I need to put there? So if you've got these stamps, they are fantastic. It really does help the people that are non-crafters anyway. And you can then go to town with the different colours of inks if you wanted to use blue for this. I'm just going to go with the old-fashioned black there. So I've got these little photo punches, these photo corner punches. I'm just going to take them out because I've got loads of bits in there, confetti. So put that back in, she says. There. right, like so. So you can either use these, or I just bought these from the Craftella website, and these are patterned. You can cut these out of patterned paper. So let's cut one and I'll show you. So these are photo corners as well. So they cut out your actual photo corner. Okay, and then you can fold that over, and that goes over the corner of your cardstock and creates a lovely little photo corner. So that's another option for you. I'm not going to use those ones particularly on here. I'm just going to use my my photo corners that actually punch into the card. So like so, and then that can just get left in there like that, and then you can close that up. You could put another one on the back there if you wanted to. And you could put another one here, so you could have another photo mat here, but you could maybe have that stuck in on there like so. But then that then gets folded up. Bring in your card, your page, and then that can then get put onto the page like so. Now here, let's bring in those nifty little chipboard pieces, because we can just then add a little bit, because I haven't got anything embellishment wise on here. You can add something in the corner there, so I could add something like a little star. That might go really well, or we could have the heart. That would look really nice as well, so we can have that heart there on the corner like so. I think that looks quite nice like that. So that then is our page done. So we need now to attach it into our book. So coming into our book, now normally I work from back to front. I don't know why I've worked from front to back this time, but it doesn't matter, it's just your preference. So on your hinges, you need to just, again, mitre them corners. So just down to that your score line on there. So the page is open, top and on the both sides. So they are going to fit, that's going to fit over that hinge like so. And it's not going to go past, anywhere past that scored line of your hinge. Okay, and then we can fold it over. Now, I'm going to stick this in because it's not going to matter, because I can do this this page in situ. So it's fine. Anyway, to stick them in, double-sided tape on your hinge, and you're going to put the double-sided tape on both sides of that hinge strip. So one there, and then one the other side. And then also, if you want to, you can add a little bit of glue on there as well, just for good measure. So burnish that down. Take that out, take that one off, and get your page and fold them over just so that I've got something to work to. Put that page in, come down to that line, and then once you're happy, make sure that it's level with your book as well, and then just burnish that down like so. Okay, and then we can put this one back in like so, because then that then is our first page done. So you can pull this out and that gives you more space on there for photographs and journaling. You've got to have a lot of places to put these things. Another spot there. You've got then your pull out here, that's got extras as well, and then there's a lot of space, so you can get quite a few bits into this part as well. So, and that's the whole fun of it, really. It's it's just finding out where to put all our different photos and things. So fold that over. So I'm going to leave that there. I really hope you have enjoyed this tutorial. I thought it was not going to be as long because I'd already cut things out previously, but yeah, it's still quite long, but I don't mind. I actually so much enjoy doing these tutorials. I really do. It's I enjoy it just as much as I do crafting, so it's good. And then I like the editing side of it as well. It really I really just like all that sort of thing. So thanks again for watching. Please give me a like and a share if you've liked this video. Please subscribe if you're not a subscriber. As I say, I can't reiterate enough how important it is for people to subscribe, because then it makes me be able to carry on and do these tutorials. Come and follow me on Facebook and Instagram and all the socials over on those as well. All the links, as always, will be in the description box down below, as well as a few shopping links and some affiliated links as well. Affiliated links, all it means is that it doesn't cost you any more than what it does if you shopped elsewhere. It just means that I get a few extra pennies in my little pot at the end of the month if you buy from those links. Thanks again for watching. Have a really good day wherever you are in the world, and until the next time, I'll see you again soon. Bye!